My name is Abhijit and I will be conducting this resourceful presentation for the better understanding of food safety in any food service facility. This presentation will highlight the basics of food storage and will specify the training procedure for the staff members in a long-term care facility. Now, what is the importance of food storage? It ensures that the food is kept in an optimum environment, taking into consideration the storage factors such as light, temperature, and humidity. Food storage is an important aspect in a long-term care facility since proper storage leads to food safety. Now, what is food storage? Food storage in simple terms refers to the storage of food products or eatables under optimal conditions of light, temperature, and humidity. The basic ideology behind food storage is preservation of food for the longer duration by enhancing the shelf life of food, either by preventing the contamination or by avoiding the hazards. The foods are stored according to the moisture content and their shelf life, which means that those foods having minimal moisture are stored under dry conditions, whereas those with high moisture are stored under refrigeration. For food storage, it should be made sure that the storage unit is in accordance with the proper guidelines, which means that it should have optimal parameters and pass through adequate sanitary processes. Now, who should take the responsibility of food storage? First and foremost, the nutrition manager is responsible for making sure that the food is stored under adequate conditions. Secondly, the food service supervisor is liable to check whether all the storage parameters are taken into consideration. And in case of storage errors, the supervisor has to take necessary steps to ensure food safety. In general, all the dietary staff members hold a responsibility towards proper food storage, for which they should follow the necessary safety standards. Above all, every employee of a food service establishment should make sure that the food follows proper storage guidelines to ensure food safety and reports any discrepancies to the manager. Now, what is the significance of food storage? It helps in the preservation of dry items in conditions of no moisture, such as rice and flour, or pantry foods such as spices and oils, which are further used for cooking. Proper food storage prevents wastage of food items, which thereby helps to retain the food quality. Food storage also helps in the preservation of raw meat, fish, poultry, and seafood from spoilage. Since these are high risk foods, therefore they are stored under refrigeration at temperatures around minus 18 degrees Celsius. Foods such as deli meats, ready to eat, various cheese, milk products, and supplements are stored in a fridge at temperature below 4 degrees Celsius. Now, when do we require food storage? Firstly, as soon as the shipment arrives, it is important to segregate the food products based upon their moisture levels and store them so that the food is not spoiled under external environmental conditions. Secondly, once the food is being used, the remaining is allowed to be stored in order to avoid food wastage, since most of the food is thrown after usage if not stored at the right time. Apart from that, the food which is cooked is also stored under low temperature conditions to avoid bacterial contamination if left out for more than 2 hours. Moreover, the food is also stored during the season so that it can be used either during an emergency or during the off-season months. This ensures both food safety and food adequacy. Now, moving on to the dry storage. This is a storage unit where low moisture or dry foods are stored, taking into account an adequate temperature of 10 to 21 degrees Celsius and a humidity level not more than 50 to 55%. Foods such as oil, sauces, cookies, rice, wheat, oats, flakes, pastas, canned fruits, and vegetables are stored in a dry unit. Now, moving on to a freezer, which is a cold storage. This is a storage unit where perishable food items are stored generally at a very low temperature of around minus 18 degrees Celsius, since such temperature prevents the microbial contamination and retain the food quality. Foods such as white meat, red meat, turkeys, fish, fries, diced or chopped vegetables, strawberries, ice cream, tarts, garlic breads are generally stored in a refrigerator. Now, moving on to a refrigerator, this is a storage site where food items are stored at a temperature below 4 degrees Celsius in order to enhance the shelf life of the products. Moreover, those foods which have high moisture are also stored in a fridge. Foods such as fresh fruits and vegetables, milk, sour cream, supplements, ready to eat products, deli meats, margarine, cheese, sauces, eggs, fresh breads are stored in a fridge unit. Now, what is the procedure of food storage? Keep high-risk foods at 5 degrees Celsius or below or above 60 degrees Celsius to avoid the temperature zone and food poisoning. It should be made sure that the raw food should be placed below the cooked foods to avoid liquids such as meat, juices dripping down and contaminating the cooked food. Follow the FIFO approach, which is first in and first out approach, which means that the fresh foods should be placed behind the older products by date so that the older ones are used first. Discard the expired or damaged food items during the stocking process or it may be harmful for consumption. Foods that are likely to spoil should be properly stored and they should be eaten as quickly as possible. Make sure that the storage conditions are met, such as optimum temperature, moisture, and light according to the storage unit in which the food is being stored. Always maintain the adequate hygienic conditions in a storage unit by properly mopping the floor and sanitizing the shelves regularly to avoid any fungal or bacterial infections from spoiling the food. If you reuse grocery bags or bins, make sure to use a specific bag or bin for meat, poultry, or seafood. Label the bag or bin with the type of food it carries. Refrigerate fresh foods and vegetables that needs refrigeration while in storage. Now, in summary, food storage is one of the most important aspects of food safety, which ensures food quality and prevents food spoilage. Make sure your refrigerator is set at 4 degrees Celsius or lower and your freezer at minus 18 degrees Celsius or lower. Place raw meat, poultry, fish, and seafood in a sealed containers or plastic bags on the bottom shelf of your refrigerator. Always follow FIFO approach as the most important aspect of food storage. Now, the top 3 test questions include: what is the storage temperature of meat or chicken? What is a FIFO approach in food storage? Why raw meats are placed beneath the cooked foods? Thank you.